female-led, and ready to help make your transition to a new space as seamless as possible. They excel at residential and commercial moving jobs, as well as offer home cleanouts and junk removal services. Moving into a new place is stressful enough, so let Movers and Shakers ease the transition. Give them a call today at 712-899-6265 or book your move online at www.moversandShakersNE.com today.
Memorial Day is coming up quickly, and you know what that means. Grilling season. You know what's more embarrassing than an overcooked piece of meat? A dirty, disgusting, and grimy grill. Let the pros at Husker Grill Cleaning get you ready for grilling season. They'll take your grill apart piece by piece, scrub every inch, and reassemble it so your grill can look and perform its best. Visit their website at huskergrillcleaning.com today to schedule your appointment. Husker Grill Cleaning, serving Lincoln, Omaha, Malcolm, and more.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
Are you buying a home? Westgate Bank understands that you need to make important decisions during your home buying journey. Our local lenders in Lincoln and Omaha make themselves available so you can get the information you need to know. Use our mobile mortgage app to manage your transaction from pre-qualification to closing, no matter where you are. Get the service and convenience you want from a local community bank where our interest is you. Learn more and visit us online at westgate.bank. Westgate Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Make plans to join 93.7 The Ticket and the Amon Green Foundation for the first annual Nebraska Esports Golf Tournament on Monday, June 9th at Wilderness Ridge. It's a four-man scramble starting at 11 a.m. that will feature former Husker greats like Amon Green, Johnny Rogers, Niles Paul, Tony Davis, Adam Carricker, Vershawn Jackson, and more, with great prizes and great golf. Sponsorships are also available. Call or text us at 402-464-5685 with questions, or sign your team up online at theticketfm.com. Registration goes through May 30th.
Several irrigation contractors in Lincoln go out of business every year, leaving sprinkler system orphans, begging for service. The folks at Judson Irrigation shed a tear for these little fellas. They've been coddling these orphans for more than 40 years. From redesign, repairing, replacing, and restoring, remember the Judson Irrigation Orphanage.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
Vershawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
This is the Don't Punt Hour with former Nebraska receiver.
Throwing over the middle, completes the pass. He's got speed to the end zone. Touchdown! 45 yards.
And return specialist.
This time he beats the kicker and one more.
Demorne Pierson-El.
Only does the sideline have confidence in Pierson-El, but Pierson-El has confidence in Pierson-El.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program.
All right, welcome in. Don't Punt Tower, Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. As always, we got the morning Pierson-El streaming in. You guys can join in Facebook, YouTube, X, Allo channel 961, 402-464-5685. You can join in on the Sartor Heyman text line as well, as we have no Royals on the brick and mortar. They'll be back on tomorrow. Few things to get through. First thing first, though, I do want to talk a little bit Nebraska baseball, as I thought they were definitely not going to win this opener versus Purdue. It is now currently the top of the 8th inning, and it's tied up 8-8. It was 1-7. I think when I first clocked in here at work, but they're still in it. 8-8 tie game. Like I said, top of the 8th inning there. So Nebraska baseball still has a chance to hopefully stiff arm Purdue and get themselves firmly in the Big Ten tournament, as that's kind of the big deal for Nebraska baseball, from winning the Big Ten tournament to possibly not even being in it for this one. But good morning, Pierson-El. Let's go ahead and bring you in. How's it going on a beautiful, very nice Thursday afternoon here in Lincoln?
One day closer to Friday, so enjoying it.
Well said. And a few things to get to. I suppose, the biggest thing, we'll just start with a story that was biggest story in the NFL today. My guy, Caleb Williams, apparently did not want to be a Chicago Bear at all. Are you surprised at all to hear that there was the serious talks with lawyers involved that they were going to maybe even forego his season to not be drafted by the Chicago Bears?
No, I mean, he said that, they made that, obvious when his draft process, was going on. Like when they acquired to be the number one pick, he was like, he might go do another year. So I don't understand why it's blowing back up a whole year later when they've been obvious about that from the start before he got drafted here.
You had I can't remember. I'm blanking on the title of the book. The book just had some exact quotes you could pull from again. Nothing new, just some extra quotes involving the whole thing. But yeah, there was some stuff in there that, I can't argue with. The father at one point was quoted saying that's where QBs go to die.
Yeah.
Not entirely wrong. It's been pretty bad up there. They still have yet to have a 4,000 yard QB. So it says a lot. Speaking of that, though, we'll stay on the NFL train, and then we'll talk about NBA as well as Bryce Williams and his draft stock, as he's done pretty well for himself, at least in day 2 of the combine. But look, I want to talk about the NFL and just broad picture fallers and risers. We kind of did the same thing with Big Ten football. NFL, you definitely got some chaos, and I just want to go by division here. We'll start with your very own division. The Kansas City Chiefs, the Chargers, the Broncos, and the newly, however you want to say it, dressed Raiders. Give me the order 1 through 4 of how you see the AFC West shaking out. Because the Broncos are fun too.
I think, and it's hard to say this with the Raiders, like their division, I think, is going to be one of the more intense divisions, because you got 3 teams from their division that went to the playoffs last year. You had 3 teams from their division that had over 10 wins. The Broncos, the Chargers, and the Chiefs all had over 10 wins, if I'm not mistaken.
The Chiefs had 15, Raiders 11, Broncos 10.
Raiders didn't have 11 wins last year.
I'm not Raiders. Chiefs 15, Chargers 11, Broncos 10. Raiders had 4.
Yeah. So, it's going to be interesting. I think the Chiefs is everything of what, everybody's chasing them, but I do think, they've kind of lost out a lot and people aren't as scared. The Chargers are right there on their heels. I think, they've Harbaugh's, boring style of football and tough defense, got them to where they are. So you have to respect those teams or whatnot. And Sean Payton and Bo Nix took off last year. They got a lot of returning players. They drafted probably, you can argue number 1, number 2 DB off the board, and you already have Patrick Surtain to kind of shut down one side of the field, and you put Barron at safety back there, which is going to be crazy with Joseph. So I think that's you're going to have to look out. It's going to be tough. I think the Raiders will do better than they did last year. You figured out your quarterback situation. We'll see what the offensive line holds, and hopefully, the defense will step up. But I mean, I still think, those three teams that probably made the playoffs last year will make the playoffs again this year, and Raiders will be, around that 500, maybe, 9 even, or right then and there to close things out. But I think their division is going to be one of the more closely related and watched divisions in all of football.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to throw it at you first. I can, if I had to take a swing at it, I'd give it to the Chiefs, and then I'd probably flip it. Give me the Broncos. I like what they're cooking. Chargers, then the Raiders. I think the Raiders greatly improved that win-loss total, but it's just like that division sucks.
Yeah.
Like just trying to grab a wild card in that division's absolutely brutal.
You're gonna for a wild card position, you're gonna have 11 wins.
Yeah, easily.
Like that's what it's gonna be.
Yeah, versus your playoff conference opponents. So not only you got to make sure you get 11, you're going to have some gutsy wins within those 11. And just going through, I just go on those by conferences that I think are going to be the most interesting. The one that we've talked about, we don't have to spend a ton of time on it. NFC North. Obviously, last year took out Lions, Vikings, Packers, Bears. Any changes there?
No, I think the Bears will. Same kind of situation. I think y'all will win more games than y'all did last year. But the only question mark that I have is just how are the Vikings going to do with JJ? That's they could drop, from 2 to 4, somewhere in between there. I still think the Bears are probably the third or fourth best team in that division. First year head coach. We'll see how that goes. Y'all did revamp your offensive line and everything like that. Y'all did get some good pieces for y'all defensive coordinator. So it'll be interesting. I just don't think it's enough just yet.
Yeah, that's fair. Me being biased, I'd only have them at most probably jumping the Packers. Vikings, just coaching wise, they've always been really consistent there. So it's hard for me to just picture a world where the Vikings win total just comes crumbling down, regardless of who they have at quarterback.
I don't think they'll get 14 wins next year, but I can definitely see 10, 11, 12 wins.
I can definitely see 10, and the Bears, like I haven't seen 10 in a long time, so I'm definitely more apt to put the Vikings ahead. Packers maybe.
I think the Packers are still significantly, and I know y'all beat them twice, division rivals type. I think they're still significantly better than y'all. It depends on how healthy their quarterback is going to be in right now. Like I said, they can go from 2 to 4.
Yeah. Well, in one of those games that we did catch them late, that was a lot of their third stringers in there at that point in time. So I really don't have any two problems. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes exactly the exact same way it did last year, where it's just in order: Lions, Vikings, Packers, Bears, once again. Because that was, again, you had 15 win Lions in there with only 2 losses, 14 win Vikings, and 11 win Packers. Like that was just insane. And then none of them go ahead and win a playoff game. NFC East, I'd say this is probably out of all of them, the last real tough one that we have order wise. Because
why is it tough?
Commanders make it interesting. Commanders, the Eagles, and then you can put the Giants there at dead last. Unless you're really excited about the Cowboys also pushing the Commanders. For me, the Commanders in there, I wouldn't be shocked if they catch the Eagles win total next year.
I would agree. I don't think that division is hard at all. I think the AFC North will be, a little bit more competitive or harder. You got Washington and Philly coming out of that division. I know the Giants have Russ and everything like that, but outside of that, the run game has been receiver wise. You know what I mean? They really haven't, hit on that. Not that they haven't hit it, because they do have some ballers up there, but it just hasn't been what they been used to. They drafted Sterling Shepard kind of after he's been gone. It's kind of just been up and down. They got a lot of young guys. Hopefully going into year 2 or year 3 they step up and handle things. But I'm not head over heels for them. You got a rookie quarterback in there. He's not going to move, the needle for me. You got Russ. Russ, fizzles out at the end of the year, so he doesn't move. He doesn't move the needle too much, for me and whatnot. I like the coach. I want the coach to be successful, but I'm not stuck on that. You got Dak, who's coming back off of being hurt with a first-year head coach, and we don't know what they're. So I mean, I would still put Cowboys at the number 3 position, and probably Giants still at 4. Outside of Neighbors, I mean Neighbors is a legit star. I think he will be definitely top 10 receivers this year.
Yeah, and we got to see what Pickens will do with the Cowboys, but even then, it's not enough to move them up a slot.
No, so I mean, you got the two teams that were in the NFC Championship coming back. I'm not worried about the NFC East at all.
All right, fair enough. Let's talk about the AFC North then, because that one outside of the Browns, they're all right there with each other.
I mean, you got Joe Burrow and the Bengals. You got the Steelers, which depending on if they get A-Rod or if they don't get A-Rod, two different teams.
I've also heard A-Rod maybe from some other camps. Do you see him anywhere but a Steeler?
I mean, unless you wait to and see who gets hurt.
Like Saints, one that I've been hearing. Like, do you see any world where he becomes a Saint?
That would, I mean, that wouldn't be bad.
With the news that we got with Carr and everything obviously going on, it opens up.
I mean, that will probably be a better situation to at least get you to a playoff spot, because I mean, you got to beat the 9-8 Buccaneers. So I mean, they've went to the playoff 2 years straight. I think right around 9, maybe 10 wins. So I mean, that division is probably the most that is like like that is wide open. So
yeah, I mean, last year Tampa got in with 10 wins, which is fine, but it's even less than I thought. I thought they had a better season than 10-7.
No, and I want to say they started winning late. They started hot, kind of got cold, and then picked up, and then went cold again, and then kind of did what they took care of business late in the season. So the Saints wouldn't be a bad place, but again, I mean, you got a first year head coach there that is he going to kind of deal with that with A-Rod and everything like that? You kind of have I could see a LaFleur and A-Rod situation happen where A-Rod is older than a lot of these coaches and been around for a minute, and it's a power struggle. So I don't know if you want to take on that as Kellen Moore, but yes, that would be that. But I think the team that gets you a best chance to probably get you to a conference championship will probably be the Steelers. I mean, their defense is a top 5 defense. They're going to keep you in games. They just need, an offensive magician to score points and to take care of the ball. And I think, A-Rod showed late last season he could still do that, even coming back from an Achilles injury. So, I mean, he's gonna have his own thing and do what he is. I mean, it's a circus following him around, and I don't know how many people are interested in participating in that circus. So that's with him. But with the AFC North, Baltimore, I mean, they Baltimore should win the conference and should be in the championship. Like, they just choke for whatever reason, in the worst way possible. Like, they played their worst games. And it just misfires. So Baltimore should be in the AFC Championship, and I'm saying that this early on. I think they have probably one of the better rosters in football.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the thing with the Steelers too. It's like you end up with Steelers, Baltimore every year, and those two teams. You also got two of the coaches that they know each other better than anybody else in the league. We talked about the other day. Mike Tomlin being the longest tenured, pro coach left after Greg Popovich retired. In second place is the man over there in Baltimore and Harbaugh. So you got just a lot of longtime coaches there as well. All I know for this one as well is like Browns at 4. We talked about how much.
If Joe Flacco can sustain and have a healthy year and everything like that, I think the Browns are dangerous. I mean, we seen them get 10 wins with him 2 years ago. So you got a better
healthy. But the Bengals now that they're healthy would be. In a world I can see them jumping the Bengals, but it also feels like the Bengals are on a breakout year as well.
Depending on how good their defense is. That's the Achilles heels of the Bengals. The Bengals offensively are going to be fine as long as Joe's healthy, and as long as their defense can do enough to make sure that they don't lose the game.
Okay. I agree with that. Let's go with one more division here as we got about 5 minutes left. Let's pick one that's a little more interesting. We talked about them before already, just for the fun of it. NFC South. That is Tampa Bay, Atlanta, and the Carolina, New Orleans Saints. A lot of bad. How do you see that shaking out this upcoming year? Because there's at least some legitimate changes, and the Panthers.
They got some excitement, but it's not anything crazy. Like, you have pieces and whatnot. I think they're still, a year or maybe 2 years away from really, doing something. I think that they got some solid pieces on offense and, the receiver wise. I think your quarterback's playing a lot better. He's a lot more confident. You just have to follow up what he was doing late last season. We just don't know which Bryce Young we're going to get. So, that's Carolina. Carolina is still far away from competing, I think, in that division. Saints are, up there, right up there with the Buccaneers. They're a quarterback away from, being in contingent. So they're sitting on the porch, waiting to hop off and put their name in a hat. They can be competitive. New coach, I think, with the right play caller there of just setting up certain things. They have skill positions at all sides, running back, tight end, receivers. They're fine. Defense is still, a pretty good defense. So they can take care of business if they have a right signal caller. Baker's owned that division since he's gotten there. I think 2-3 years in a row to where, he's won the division and went to the playoffs. And I think won 2 playoff games, maybe.
Yeah, he's got a couple of playoff with the Buccaneers already.
So it's their division. It's their division to lose. They're a scrappy team. They handle business. They're playing well. They reloaded at positions and whatnot. So you always have to account for them. But I don't think they're going on a run to the NFC championship by any means. But they're the top dog in their conference.
Any other conferences they really interested in before we just dive in?
Oh, in Atlanta, Atlanta's up and coming. They still have a young team, but they're right then and there. They're I think a year or two away from really making some noise. They drafted well on defense this year to restock and reload, which is good.
Where's Drake London at now?
Huh?
Where's Drake London at? He was drafted.
He's still down there. He's still in Atlanta.
Okay.
It's him, Mooney, and I think down there in Atlanta that are pretty, the 1 and 2. You got Kyle Pitts still down there. You got Bijan still down there. And then on the defense, they got 2 first-round, edge rushers. You got Bates down there. You got A.J. Terrell, at corner. So they're not far off. They just, drafted Xavier Watts out of Omaha, who went to Notre Dame. So they have pieces down there. I just think they're young, and it's going to take some time for them to build up. So again, another year or two, and they can really make some noise.
Yeah, it might be sooner before we know it. All right, one team I want to talk about, and then we'll throw it to break here. San Francisco 49ers. Obviously, a lot of injuries didn't help them, but they came out only winning 6 games, finishing dead last in their own division last year. Give me the script for the 49ers in the 25-26 season.
Go ahead, say it again.
How much do you think they turn it around, if at all?
I think with what they have there and everything like that, they can get to 10 games. I don't think they'll exactly be what they were as dominant. I still think they're a force to be reckoned with. You got McCaffrey back. Hopefully he stays healthy. That adds, a dynamic. You paid your tight end. The players that you drafted on offense over the past 2 years or defense, period, they have to start contributing. You let go of walk of some players that really helped create y'all identity, that left, huge holes. And the players that you got to replace that have to kind of step up and step in early. If that happens, I think, that secures you, 11, 12 wins. But if it's still kind of early in experience, like I said, around that 10-win mark. Their division, you have to go through the Rams. The Rams, every season have played excellent late.
Mm-hmm.
And that's who's going to be, I think, a clash in their division. I think Arizona isn't necessarily there just yet. Seattle, it's still to be determined exactly, what they just, traded a lot of big pieces of their identity away.
Yeah, they're going through.
Purdy didn't play bad, but I mean, we seen he had to deal with a lot. And then you had a lot missing, on your defense. You had players that was hurt at multiple positions, players that weren't healthy. So, I mean, if they can stay healthy and whatnot, I think they can still be as physical, and they have to change their game a little bit. Like I said, I mean, you let Debo walk. You got Parcell there. I don't think Ayuk will be back early. I think, he might miss, the first probably couple games. He'll probably get, after the first quarter of the season. So you have a new identity that you have to kind of create, because your bread and butter isn't necessarily your bread and butter. So we have to see what this new 49ers look like. It's going to have some shades of the old 49ers, but they'll ball management, clock management. They won't, take unnecessary risks. I think they'll be a good dominant team, but I don't think they'll be the 49ers of what we've seen these past few years.
Yeah, I probably got them finishing second, right behind the Rams.
Right, yeah.
Got to see a little bit more there. And to your point, I think you're right. Like you got to see some of those draft picks start to perform, to feel good about the 49ers again, because they've had some really good talent out the door. We got to throw it to break. On the other side, though, we'll talk a little bit 7-on-7 and the NFL, particularly putting out some guys that we may want to send to the Olympics for some 7-on-7 football. So don't go anywhere. We'll talk about that next. Don't Punt Hour to morning. Pierson-El, Harrison Arns. We'll talk to you in a bit.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Play ball! Pitch the perfect idea for a family outing or date night with tickets to the next Salt Dogs game. Nothing says summer fun like an action-packed evening at Haymarket Park. Come root for the home team with a hot dog and a cold drink. Plus, visit saltdogs.com to learn about special events and promotions, including group discounts. Don't miss out on the thrill and excitement of a Salt Dogs win. Visit saltdogs.com to reserve your tickets today.
Diabetes, 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
In Nebraska, we show up when friends need help. We check in on our neighbors. That's why it's important to know the warning signs of suicide. If you have a friend or neighbor who's withdrawn, stressed, agitated, or talks about suicide, find out how you can help. Call, text, or chat 988 for 24/7 support. You have the power to save a life. Paid for by the University of Nebraska Public Policy Center. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in this station.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Copple Chevrolet GMC, and they're having the biggest hail sale they've ever had. A huge opportunity is at your front door right now. Some of these cars we're fixing, some we're not, and some it's totally up to you. New Sierra starting at $15,000 off list. New Canyons at $8,500 off list. New body styles on the Acadias, $3,000 off list. You need to hurry as there's going to be a lot of people heading to Louisville. Check us out at Copple Cars cars.com. Stock numbers G1211492, G1877747, and G1965599.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Breezy and not nearly as hot today in Lincoln. We did manage 90 yesterday. I'm thinking 82 for a high temperature today, but wind gusts are going to be around 30 to 40 miles an hour, so hang on to those hats out there. Wind will stay with us tonight. We'll drop down to 56 for a low. We'll get up to 80 again tomorrow with, again, wind gusts up around 30 to 40 miles an hour. I'm meteorologist Aaron Dowden for 93.7 The Ticket and ticketfm.com.
Play ball! Ready for summer fun and ballpark vibes? Bring your pack to Haymarket Park for a thrilling season of Lincoln Salt Dogs baseball and unleash the fun. From May through August, the Lincoln Salt Dogs will be playing and the park will be popping with all the food, drinks, and fun you need for the perfect night out. Grab your friends, family, and coworkers and make plans now. Visit saltdogs.com to secure your tickets. Come on out to the park and unleash the fun.
Are you buying a home? Westgate Bank understands that you need to make important decisions during your home buying journey. Our local lenders in Lincoln and Omaha make themselves available so you can get the information you need to know. Use our mobile mortgage app to manage your transaction from pre-qualification to closing, no matter where you are. Get the service and convenience you want from a local community bank where our interest is you. Learn more and visit us online at westgate.bank. Westgate Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Make plans to join 93.7 The Ticket and the Amon Green Foundation for the first annual Nebraska Esports Golf Tournament on Monday, June 9th at Wilderness Ridge. It's a four-man scramble starting at 11 a.m. that will feature former Husker greats like Amon Green, Johnny Rogers, Niles Paul, Tony Davis, Adam Carricker, Vershawn Jackson, and more, with great prizes and great golf. Sponsorships are also available. Call or text us at 402-464-5685 with questions, or sign your team up online at theticketfm.com. Registration goes through May 30th.
Garage doors can break down or quit working at the worst times. At Doors Plus, they understand that a broken garage door sometimes means repair and not replace. Sometimes, all you need to make your door like new again is a few bolts, a realignment, or even a new balance. Trust the pros at Doors Plus to handle your garage door repair the right way so you can get on with your busy schedule. Visit them online at DoorsPlusLLC.com or give them a call today at 402-590-5800. Doors Plus. Garage doors and more.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program. Here is your host, Demorne Pierson-El.
All right, welcome back in. Don't Punt Hour. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. Good morning, Pierson-El streaming in. You guys can join in via the text line and any of the streams. Update on Nebraska baseball. They took the lead 11-9. At the bottom of the 8th inning there. So Nebraska baseball actually still has a chance to pull this one off. But good morning, Pierson-El. Bringing you in here. I did talk about a little bit of flag football. I saw the article today from the NFL talking about potentially putting together a flag football team. And I just wanted to ask you, you're going to put a NFL flag football team together, and let me make sure that I have the actual positions right for it. Give me your offense. So give me the guy that we're sending out there for the Olympics as quarterback.
I got a question. So because with flag football, you can, in some tournaments, you can rush. You can rush and get a sack. So is that a part of the rules, or is that not part of the rules? Because that will dictate who I pick for my starting quarterback.
There's definitely a situation where you can rush because
Lamar Jackson's my quarterback. It's not close.
Yeah, I don't think there's any other answer. Has to be Lamar. I'm going to take Lamar. Saquon, I gave my answer away. Running back, who you taking?
Is it one running back or two running backs? Like you gotta.
For the sake of this, we're just taking one.
You went Saquon. I'll go Alvin Kamara.
Okay, I like that. Unfortunately for Derrick Henry, this is one where his skills don't necessarily help him out.
I would take him or Gibbs. Gibbs would be another good receiving running back. Or the dude out of no, I'm not taking him. I'm not taking him. Go ahead, give me Alvin Kamara.
All right, wide receivers. You get to pick two of them.
What personnel are we running?
We got how they have it is one quarterback, one running back, two wide receivers, and one tight end, and then you get an offensive substitute.
And
then your defense, you get a
receiver. I'm going Tariq Hill.
Yeah, that's an easy one.
Do you want me to say both of mine, or you want to give one up of yours?
I'll take Jefferson. You're gonna take the speed away. I'll get the
number two. It would be that would be hard. I'll go this. Give me AJ Brown.
That's a good one.
I'll take AJ.
Give me the sure hand of Mike Evans. It might be crazy pick, but he's.
You telling me you have the opportunity to get Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase, and you're going for Mike Evans? Are you?
I did. Give me Evans. I thought about taking Jamar Chase, but
You're crazy.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. It is crazy. You should never make that move. But I just like Mike Evans too much, and I want to throw him on the roster. But you would be right. You could even throw a guy out like DK Metcalf. Although Metcalf wouldn't necessarily fit I wouldn't think flag football mold either. Tight end, you only get one.
Can I put Darren Waller in this position, or he's no longer an option?
No, you don't get to take him. What if I said Trey McBride?
That's who I was gonna take.
No, you weren't.
I'm not lying.
Okay.
Because my thing is like, okay, matchup speed and whatnot. Like I don't want to take. I mean, you could put Laporta, but he's not necessarily a fast type of tight end. He would be the only. I mean, you could say Goddard, but Goddard isn't fast. I was looking at speed at 3, so that's why I went. I was literally going to say Trey, but since you take him, it's okay. I can pick somebody else. I'll take Laporta. I think Laporta is a matchup nightmare too.
Okay,
maybe not speed wise, but
would it be too soon to take your guy, Brock Bauer?
If that's what you want to choose, but I mean, I feel like there are other other tight ends that are now out of the guys that are available to play. Out of the guys that I think that are going to play, I feel like Brock probably is more so one likely to play more so than some of the guys that's 5-7 years plus in the league.
He's high up there on the list in terms of if we're going to pick a tight end for me. Anyways, all right, you get one offensive substitute. Who do you want?
Devontae Adams.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's good.
I'm not. I mean, yeah, I'm not.
I'll take Jamar Chase on that one. He can be a substitute and watch Mike Evans score all those touchdowns. All right, for the defense, you do get a middle linebacker. You get a corner, defensive tackle. Well, you get.
I get one corner. It's two. Like I get two receivers and one corner.
Two corners. Good morning, Pierson-El.
Thank you.
And then I'd imagine just a safety. They don't really have it. They have another corner, but I imagine it's safety. It's got corner/safety. So there's your safety. So 2 corners, a safety, a middle linebacker, and 1 defensive tackle.
Middle linebacker?
Yeah. Who do you want? I'm taking
Raekwon Smith. It ain't close.
Okay. That's a good one.
Who are you taking?
For which position we going now? I took Fred Warner.
Okay, that's not bad. I mean, I like that.
Defensive tackle. Who do you want?
D tackle?
Yeah, you only get one. This one, so I don't know how you want to go about this. Flag football wise, I couldn't tell you. what the best way to go about
Can
it is.
I take Max Crosby and convert him to a D tackle? Like, there's no pads. Like, it's 1-on-1.
Sure. You can.
I'll take Max.
Okay.
He's high energy, good change of direction. He can drop back and he can catch the ball. Like, there's different packages I can do with Max. Versatility.
Okay. Sure. You can take Crosby if you want to cheat.
I asked.
Yeah, you did ask. All right, give me Abdul Carter. Give me the freshman. Or not,
Oh my
give me the rookie.
God, Lord have mercy. Okay.
Corners. Who do you want?
Surtain.
Yeah, that was the first one that came to my head. Give me Patrick Surtain, and then give me Sauce Gardner. I'm pretty. You could go either way for me on this one. There's a lot of directions.
Corner wise, who do I think? I'm trying to think because I know, like I'm like, who was a solid corner? That one is actually pretty interesting. I got like three people that I'm like stuck between. Of course, Jalen Ramsey, just because he can run and do a whole lot of things. I would go Marshawn Lattimore. He could run and do a whole lot of things. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I don't care. Give me Marshawn. I'll take Marshawn.
Okay.
I'll take Marshawn. He's aggressive. He's a ball hawk. Like there isn't too much you're gonna be able to do. I'll take Marshawn as my CB2.
All right, give me a safety. Round it out.
Justin Simmons.
Okay. I'm taking Hamilton off the Ravens.
He was my second choice, but playing with Justin and just understanding what stuff is, he's savvy and I don't think he gets as much respect as he should, but he's lanky, he can run. Give me Jay Simmons.
All right, I like it. With that being said, I don't know how good those rosters are at all. I couldn't tell you how good flag football is and what attributes are going to be best served in that form. Do you see flag football being a big hit in the Olympics ever?
I think for the NFL, I think they would want to push it because that would expand the game globally to where, that they could be introduced to flag football and then later on, pick up, actual 11 on football. We've already seen, the NFL play in multiple countries. Every year or every 2 years, I feel like they add two different, countries to play in. So I think it would be a hit. It just depends on how many superstars are you going to get to play in this? Because I guarantee you, probably a lot of them aren't going to.
Yeah. That being said, with the international games, just out of curiosity, have you looked at the ones that we do have for this upcoming year?
Some of them. I haven't looked at all of them, but it looks like some pretty neat places.
Yes, we are back there in Brazil, back in there, Dublin, Ireland. We're in London 1, 2, 3 times. Can you guess which team's in London this year?
Bears.
No, Jags. Jags are always in London every single year. Jacksonville Jaguars, my lord. They're always playing in London. I don't know what deal they had when they made that team, but they are always in London at least once a year. And then you also have in Berlin, you got the Colts and the Falcons, and then you got Madrid as well. Commanders.
Ooh, that'd be a good one.
Yeah, that's a new one. Give me a city, and then we'll throw it to break here, or a few cities that you would like to see the NFL play a game in.
I would say,
I think, say if you don't want to give me a city.
Costa Rica, I think, would be a nice somewhere down there. Wouldn't be too bad. Maybe somewhere like Egypt or something like that over across, or Africa. I think having something in Africa would be great. for them to do. I think that whole continent would come out, would try and get to there. So
what about Japan? I feel like people in Japan would go nuts.
That would be nice. That would be unique. But I think with that, because of how much of a time difference, I'm assuming you would probably have to have a team on a bye week after, or both teams on bye weeks after.
Yeah, it'd have to be like exhibition almost. That would be tough to do.
And they're not going over there for an exhibition game. They're not doing that.
No. Unless you give them a bunch of money. NFL, though, I mean, if they're super serious about, spending money on their brand, that's one hell of a way to market it. Exhibition game all the way over there in Japan. And
that would be nice.
Japan, they do love the American pro sports, seems like. So I think it would be a big hit. But to your point, time-wise, that'd be the biggest challenge. We'll throw it to break, though. We will talk some NBA finally on the other side. Also, a little bit of Bryce Williams, as he had a big day for day 2 of the NBA Combine. Don't go anywhere. We'll talk about that next. Don't Punt Hour. Harrison Arns, the morning Pierson-El.
In Lincoln go out of business every year, leaving sprinkler system orphans begging for service. The folks at Judson Irrigation shed a tear for these little fellas. They've been coddling these orphans for more than 40 years. From redesign, repairing, replacing, and restoring, remember the Judson Irrigation Orphanage.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Hi, it's Charlie Stone and Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln with more exciting news for area car buyers.
Charlie, it's just announced that Honda of Lincoln has won 3 of the Lincoln Journal-Star's Lincoln Choice Awards: Best New Car Dealer, Best Auto Repair, and Best Place to Get Your Oil Changed.
Wow, that's great, Andy. Anything else?
Yes, we were runner-up for Best Pre-Owned Dealer and Best Tire Dealer. A lot of people don't understand that we do sell tires here.
Very exciting, Andy. Why do you think your dealership is winning so many awards?
Charlie, we simply say it's the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business.
Looks like Honda of Lincoln is the great news headquarters for Lincoln.
Yes, and even all of Nebraska, we are also announcing that Honda of Lincoln's the only dealer in the state of Nebraska to win the prestigious Honda President's Award for 2024.
Honda of Lincoln, Nebraska's #1 volume Honda dealer, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Midwest Bank is now hiring in Lincoln. They have multiple banking positions open and are looking for dynamic individuals passionate about helping others and building relationships. With a family-friendly culture, competitive benefits, and unique perks, Midwest Bank is a great place to start a new career. Apply today at midwest.bank. Midwest Bank is an equal opportunity employer, member FDIC.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Support Matt Talbot Kitchen and Outreach on Give to Lincoln Day. Your gift will be received by a portion of Lincoln Community Foundation's matching fund. Homelessness is a complex problem facing our community. By working together, we can find solutions. Your donation for Give to Lincoln Day moves us closer to ensuring that everyone in Lincoln has a safe place to sleep at night. Because of your generosity, hope lives here. Give anytime through May 29th at givetolincoln.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Out here on Nebraska's calm, welcoming waters, fishing is a breeze. It's the sweet spot where solo anglers find quiet before the catch, families reel in memories, and first-timers discover what makes fishing so special. From the Panhandle to the Platte, the best fishing happens here, beneath Nebraska skies. Get started at letsfishnebraska.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in this station.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay,
Playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
Make sure you tune in every Saturday from 11 to 12 for all things youth football with Tank Perry and Jim Sandman. Learn how the game of youth football has grown in and around the capital city with coaches, athletic directors, and league commissioners telling you all about it. It's all things youth football with Tank Perry and Jim Sandman every Saturday from 11 to noon right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
93.7 The Ticket is your home for every Kansas City Royals baseball game. Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and the rest of the Royals attempt to make the postseason for the second season in a row. And you can hear all the action on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Your home for Kansas City Royals baseball. This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
All right, final segment, Don't Punt Hour. Good morning, Pierson-El, Harrison Arns. Finishing up with a little bit of NBA talk here. First thing out of the gates, Bryce Williams. Big day for him on day 2 of the combine. He was 0 for 8 on day 1. Day 2, he is the all-game leading scorer with 24 points on some high efficiency as well. Where do you think Bryce Williams will land, Good morning, Pierson-El, in terms of his draft round? You think in round 2, round 3, or further?
I mean, I think potentially he could go. He can. I mean, so all it takes is one person, one team to like you. So I think late round to early second.
Okay, yeah. I think
first to early second.
Yeah, I think early second, especially day 1. I was a little bit nervous for him after that combine performance, but then day 2, he kind of bounced back and showed you why he has all those accolades and awards. So I'm a lot higher on it now. I think just that day 2 alone, I think you feel pretty good about him being a day 2 kind of guy for that draft. Bryce Williams, probably the only guy. Well, let's be real, probably the only guy that's going to get that NBA draft talk. But we'll keep an eye on him. Other news, we do got game 6 between the OKC Thunder and the Denver Nuggets. If OKC Thunder wins it, that's a wrap on the series. They win it 4-2. Who do you got in tonight's game? It is
OKC.
So it's a wrap. That puts us with the Timberwolves and OKC Western Conference Finals, which is very exciting. Who do you got coming out of that one then?
Minnesota.
Is Minnesota just the all-out favorite to win the NBA championship?
I think so. Well, Boston pretty much, on life alert. Yeah.
Give me the Timberwolves stopper then. Which team proves the biggest threat matchup-wise?
I would probably say Denver, probably, just because, Denver had them on the ropes last year, and, things took off. So I think they're as equally as big as outside of Gobert, but they're as equally as tall as that they match up size wise really, really well. Both teams are experienced, both teams are veteran savvy. And it's just, playing that team that is just annoying. I think Denver annoys Minnesota probably more than a lot of other teams.
Yeah, those two right there just feel like they're built for each other's worst nightmare.
Yeah.
It is crazy when you look over at the East to see the way how the Boston is falling apart, and you got the Pacers making their way through. Give me the best finals outcome then, that if you were just as a viewer would want to watch with everybody that's left remaining.
I think Minnesota, they bring they keep the game interesting. It's high flying. I think them versus the Knicks, just because of that whole trade. You have that to talk about, the ex-former teammates of both. Talking about Brunson, how you can never really count them out. Down 20 points, coming back in multiple series to win and everything like that. I think those two teams. Anytime New York media is in the limelight of things, especially, with the Knicks. This is probably the most success they've had, in the last probably 10, 12 years. Spark going back to, when Melo was there early on, when they were really, really dominant and everything like that. But I think Minnesota and the Knicks, that type of finals will definitely have a lot of stuff to talk about on and off the field. You can talk about Ant being the face. You could throw Brunson in, potentially, being the face of things. How the Mavs kind of treated him after, not paying him, and then Minnesota reaching that point for the first time, I think, in franchise history, and everything like that. Under new management. There's a lot to talk about, and I think those two teams gives you the most to talk about, not just on the court but off the court.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Timberwolves Knicks, I think, for the fan would be the best one for it, and also for the NBA. Like
two great environments. If you look at the Minnesota Timberwolves, their home games, their fans are excited, happy to be there. It's live, it's entertaining. I mean, you playing in Madison Square Garden. Come on now, there isn't too many places that can beat that.
No, I mean, it's a cathedral of the NBA for a reason. It's tough to beat that place, and then. It stamps Edwards' legacy for sure if he makes it to the finals. It also definitely carves out that role for Brunson as well, as you we are at that point where we're washing away a lot of the old faces of the NBA, entering into the new faces of the NBA. With that being said, we'll wrap it up here. Appreciate it as always. The morning Pierson-El. We'll talk again next week on Monday. Up next, What's Brewing with Chance Brewington. Don't go anywhere.